How's it going, everyone? In this video, we have some big news on Raquel Rodriguez, two top AEW stars potentially leaving the company soon, and a whole lot more. But before we begin, please make sure to drop a like on this video. I would really appreciate it. Alright guys, so for our first story of today, we have the ratings for Monday Night Raw, NXT, and AEW Dynamite. So according to a new report from Pwtorch and Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics, Monday Night Raw drew 1,339,000 viewers with a .43 in the key demo rating. NXT drew 620,000 viewers and a .19 in the key demo rating, and AEW Dynamite drew 702,000 viewers with a .23 in the key demo rating. Next up, we have some news on the real reason why Wardlow has been missing from AEW. So for the past 6 months, many fans have been speculating about Wardlow's AEW status, specifically why he's been absent from the company for a very long time. Well, during an interview on the Keep It to Wrestling podcast, Matt Taven, who is Wardlow's teammate in the Undisputed Kingdom, revealed the reason for Wardlow's absence is because he's dealing with a knee injury and is currently looking for the right treatment plan to get himself back on track. Next, we have some news that a major WWE tag team is set to return soon with a different name. So on the recent episode of WrestleVotes Radio, it was confirmed that the Mystery Fate is Woven video, which aired on Monday Night Raw this week, is for the return of the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar, who have been out of action for quite a while with their respective injuries. And once they return, which is believed to be very soon, they will be going by the War Raiders. Next, we have some very sad news for Raquel Rodriguez, because even though it was recently reported that pitches were being made for her return to WWE, sadly, it appears like there was another setback. Because according to Sean Ross Sapp of FIFO Select, Raquel Rodriguez has been dealing with mast cell activation syndrome, which is a condition that causes the patient to experience allergic symptoms such as hives, swelling, difficulty breathing, etc. And as of this moment, her return to WWE still remains very much unclear. Moving on to our next story, we have some big news that two top stars could be leaving AEW very soon. Because according to Raj Giri and Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, although it was initially believed that Malachi Black was under a 5-year AEW deal in 2022, apparently his current deal is believed to be ending at the beginning of next year, and many top wrestling promotions are interested in signing him. However, AEW is reportedly working to re-sign him. And in addition to Malachi, Daniel Garcia has yet to reportedly sign a new deal with AEW. And as time has gone by, the company has become less confident that he will end up staying, which is why he lost to MJF at AEW All Out and why he is not being used on television. Daniel Garcia's current AEW deal is expected to expire in October. So now guys, I want to give you my thoughts and opinions on all of the stories that we discussed today. Starting off with our first story, we did talk about the ratings for Monday Night Raw, NXT, and AEW Dynamite. And from the looks of it guys, it does appear like Raw and NXT did see a drop in viewership. However, as it pertains to AEW Dynamite, they did see a slight increase in the ratings department, which is very good news for them. So hopefully they can continue to garner interest from fans, which in turn will have them get more viewership for their ratings. Next, we talked about Wardlow and why he's been missing from AEW television basically for many months now. And during a recent interview, one of his group members, Matt Taven, did say, which something that many fans have been speculating, and that is that Wardlow is currently dealing with a knee injury. And according to the interview, it does not look like Wardlow will be returning to in-ring competition anytime soon, which is pretty crazy because Adam Cole, who has been out of action as well, Cole with I believe it was an ankle injury. He has been out for quite some time. It does appear like Adam Cole is closer to returning than Wardlow is, which is pretty insane in my opinion. However, I do hope that Wardlow can find some good doctors and then so he can recover from his knee injury, because back in the day Wardlow was pushed to be a big star, especially while he was feuding with MJF. But sadly, I suppose due to injuries, that all of those plans had to be halted. So hopefully Wardlow can return to in-ring competition for AEW soon. The other story that we talked about was on the Viking Raiders, reportedly set to return to WWE television very soon. And it was reported today that on Monday Night Raw this week, there was a pretty interesting video for a potential superstar's return, and WrestleVotes did confirm this week that vignette or promo video was for the return of the Viking Raiders, and upon their return they will be going by the War Raiders, and which is pretty awesome news, because Eric and Ivar have been out of action for a pretty long time as well. They have been dealing with, I believe, neck injuries and also surgery. So it does appear like they will be returning to in-ring competition pretty soon, and they will be going by a completely different name, which is pretty awesome to see. Next, we also talked about Raquel Rodriguez and some pretty unfortunate news for her again, because Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select did report today that Raquel Rodriguez is still dealing with mast cell syndrome, and apparently Raquel Rodriguez, despite the fact that it was reported just a few weeks ago that WWE Creative was coming up with something for her so she can return, apparently she is dealing with another setback with this condition that is prohibiting her from returning to WWE in-ring competition, which is very sad in my opinion, because Raquel Rodriguez, when she was free from that condition, she was being booked very strong, and she was a superstar that many fans liked as well. So it does look like she will be out of action for quite some time with this condition, because it was also reported by Sean Ross Sapp that no information has been made in regards to when she will be cleared to return again. So very unfortunate news. So hopefully Raquel can recover from this condition so she can return to WWE soon. The other story that we talked about was on two top AEW stars potentially leaving the company soon. And those wrestlers are Malachi Black and also Daniel Garcia. So as it pertains to Malachi Black, I do think that when his contract expires, I do believe that he will not end up re-signing with AEW, because I'm pretty sure that he wants to go back to WWE, because I think that now that Triple H is in charge of creative, I'm pretty sure that Malachi Black is very comfortable and trusts Triple H that he will be booked better as opposed to when Vince McMahon was in charge. And also because his wife Zelina Vega is there, obviously they would want to be together. So I will not be surprised to see Malachi Black eventually make his return to WWE. And apparently his contract with AEW is actually supposed to expire early next year instead of, I do believe that it was reported that he signed a 5-year deal with AEW back in 2022. So that means that he would have stay with AEW until around 2027. So that is a very long time, but eventually I do think that he will end up returning. Now, the other person that was discussed as well was Daniel Garcia again. Now, Daniel Garcia has reportedly not signed a new deal to stay with AEW, which is why AEW has decided to not book Daniel Garcia since losing to MJF at AEW All Out, which makes sense, because if you are not sure that that certain superstar is not going to stay with the company until, why would you have him be on television? Why would you book him in important storylines if he wasn't going to stay? So I do think that Tony Khan is just he did offer him a new deal. It was reported. However, he has yet to sign one. So I do think that if Daniel Garcia ends up signing a new deal to remain with AEW, then I do think that Tony Khan will write him into storylines, important storylines. But until then, I do think that the question of him potentially leaving AEW to WWE could actually happen, and apparently his contract ends in October, so it remains to be seen whether Daniel Garcia will end up staying with AEW or moving to WWE. So with that being said, guys, that is all of the news that we have for today. Please make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions on all of the stories that we discussed today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.